the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, COMESA has launched a new strategy to enhance the visibility and awareness of its institutions. This decision was made during the Council of Ministers meeting held in Lusaka, Zambia in 2023. Mauritius, an active member state, hosted the first Stakeholder Awareness Forum for COMESA Institutions in April 2024 in Eben, a major financial center. The forum's theme was Economic Integration for a Thriving COMESA anchored on green investment, value addition and tourism. It brought together representatives from the public and private sectors, NGOs, and civil society. The event provided a chance for local stakeholders to learn about COMESA's institutions, their programs, and how member states can benefit from these thriving entities. COMESA and its institutions aim to create a competitive business environment in Africa's largest economic community, which has a population of over 600 million people and a global trade with $477 billion.
In the area of market integration, COMESA is further consolidating the becoming operational of the free trade area, and which has resulted in significant intra-COMESA trade increase from $2 billion when we started in 2000 to $10 billion in 2020, and moving up to $14 billion in 2022. The potential exists to further increase this trade of intra-COMESA trade over $100 billion US.
We have now crossed the $10 billion mark as the balance sheet of TDB Group. We've come a long way. And I think, as the Secretary General likes to often say, when COMESA gives birth to very healthy children and they grow up, the cousins of COMESA all join and take ownership alongside COMESA. So we are now also the dedicated regional bank of the tripartite, which, as you will know, is COMESA Plus, SADC and the East African Community.
I think this workshop is a unique platform for the networking, for the exchange of information. I seize therefore this opportunity to thank you, Madam Secretary General, and the whole staff of COMESA for your continued support and for your pivotal role in advancing the development of the whole region. From the Mauritius point of view, we have worked with the Africa Leather and Leather Products Institute for the development of our leather industry.
If we look at COMESA on the supply side, COMESA has 11% of the global livestock, meaning that they can produce skins that can be converted into finished leather, then products. But the challenge we are having is that we are producing raw skins and exporting them in raw state. And therefore you'd find our 11% shrinks down to 3% in terms of global trade.
The forum began with the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between COMESA and the Indian Ocean Commission, marking a new cooperation pathway.
The signing of this Memorandum of Understanding today heralds a new pathway towards heightened cooperation. It is also defending the cause of the small island states of the region and those of the African continent.
This MOU between COMESA and IOC will further help to promote the interests of our common member states to assist them to emerge as poles of economic growth, trade and investment.
Additionally, an MOU was signed between the Trade and Development Bank, TDB, and the State Bank of Mauritius. The two-day event featured overviews from 12 institutions offering services like access to credit and reinsurance.
At the end of the day, we are a financial development group, and it doesn't matter how we look at it, we have to be financially sustainable, firstly, even for our development investors, so that they are able to choose to reinvest their dividends in us, and also to attract capital.
We all need investments, we all need trade. If Africa is not trading with itself, we cannot create opportunities, we cannot create jobs. If there's no investment, we cannot also create jobs. So indeed, we are fighting that integration through insurance by actually giving assurance to investors so that they can sleep easy and their investments are safe with us.
COMESA Business Council played a crucial role in addressing online payment issues in the region.
We are working to establish an online retail payment platform, which will facilitate online payment for SMEs, women entrepreneurs, and young people in the COMESA region, so that when they trade, they can do it in a cashless way. So they don't have to carry cash to do cash transaction. So it's going to be low cost and also interoperable.
We also look at how we can bring the private sector together through our COMESA Business Council, which brings together partnerships between private sectors of Mauritius and the other COMESA member states to bring opportunities to trade, especially in financial services and others where Mauritius has a comparative advantage, but also to establish value chains which can benefit Mauritius in extending her production capacity by partnering with member states on the mainland.
The forum also included a Q&A session, enhancing dialogue between partners.
In the different sectors,
Well, what we have done over the years is we have attracted capital from institutional investors, and we have used that capital to finance trade and regional integration in terms of economic development, infrastructure to connect the countries, but also to develop the countries themselves. And all of that has been done with the capital that we've managed to attract over the years.
Discussions also covered promoting competition, developing the insurance industry, and the role of COMESA in investment. Local stakeholders showed keen interest, particularly in the challenges and opportunities of trade highlighted by the Mauritius Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Directly, when we see the exports from Mauritius to the COMESA region, we mostly see Madagascar, Seychelles, Kenya, and when we talk about imports, it's the same countries, but also Egypt, among others. I think it's very important to understand the principle, the reason for the trading, and also the potentiality. You know, as at today, most of the trade that is happening are historical and based on existing value chains.
There is plenty for everybody. Of course, we want to become a high-income country. I'm talking like a Mauritian. We want to reduce our carbon emission by 30% by 2030. We want to have renewable energy for the production of our energy. So all those things are possible, but alone as a country, it will not be possible.
Other discussions at the forum focused on trade and service payment settlements among member states and on the Monetary Cooperation Program.
Clearinghouse was at its peak in 1989, 1990, before the Structural Adjustment Program started. And then we had the challenge because central banks were no longer able to direct their importers and exporters to surrender currencies, to surrender their retention programs.
In 2007, in their meeting in Tripoli, the Committee of Governors of Central Bank approved the formation of an autonomous COMESA Monetary Institute. Central banks bidded and agreed to host a COMESA Monetary Institute. A number of central banks expressed their interests, but finally the Central Bank of Kenya was given that mandate to host the COMESA Monetary Institute, and therefore the COMESA Monetary Institute started their operation in March 2011.
Suggestions included adopting common COMESA currencies and enhancing the energy sector, reflecting COMESA's goal to promote integration and investment.
Now, COMESA is very green when it comes to installed capacity. When it comes to the production of electricity, we can claim that we are green and clean because of the share of renewable energy, 18% hydro small and large, 6% other renewable energy, plus more than 80% of the 76% of the thermal is gas. So we claim that that is a green regional economic community when it comes to energy production.
The forum also spotlighted the contributions of the Federation of Women in Business, the leather trade, and small-scale farmers in achieving better market access. These discussions led to many actionable ideas at the grassroots level.
We aspire to be a leading institution that support the development of women in business in the COMESA region. And to achieve that aspiration, we normally develop programs and projects to empower women as well to facilitate the activities of women in business in the COMESA region.
When you're working at the COMESA member state level, the aspect of capacity building for commercialization is a must. For you to grow, we have to make sure that there's capacity building, especially that we have almost 90 million smallholder farmers in the whole COMESA member states.
The workshop concluded with a strong sense of achievement at COMESA.
We wanted to bring on board all COMESA institutions and come and address to the public, private, and even the NGO. We want the private sector to come on board in bigger number, and not only to work alone, but to work with the private sector, all the COMESA. And that was one thing that we wanted to create, and I believe that we have successfully created that interest.
Overall, the Awareness Forum for COMESA's institutions set a new trend in stakeholder engagement, uniting partners in trade and development on a single platform to share ideas and opportunities confidently. This initiative is in line with COMESA's mission to foster regional integration and benefit its 21 member states. Another step towards turning the economic dream of Africa into reality.